think I remember seeing a young Greg Inglis. He had the frosted tips.
Oh, what a talent, what a player!
First thing Craig Bellamy ever said to you was, get out of my face and get fitter or something like that.
Yeah, so I won't repeat what he actually said.
You're 18 by the time you debut, but what was that like?
This is try time on debut!
It's like a deer in headlights, really.
Greg Inglis will collect the 4 points.
That gave me the drive and motivation to actually want to do it.
Up we go. Here come the Storm!
2010, it all comes crashing down.
Yeah.
We are not going anywhere. We ain't going to surrender.
And we was in disbelief. Is this really happening?
Russell calls you, but you didn't believe it's Russell, right?
No, I hung up on him twice.
They can't stop it. Greg Inglis has scored. That is a magical rugby league try.
He is the king of Olympic Park. One of the superstars of the game. He bumps him away, dives at the line, I think it's a try.
You've been very open about your bipolar 2 diagnosis, your battles with anxiety, depression.
Do you feel like some days you can't, get up out of bed, no motivation? That became pretty much my norm.
How bad did it get in those times?
About 7 years ago, I wouldn't be sitting here and spreading the word around mental health.
Well, G.I., good to see you. How's life treating you at the moment?
Jake, it's going very, very well for me at the moment. It's in a really good headspace, yeah.
It's good to hear. I guess the last time we saw you publicly was the Hall of Fame announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Greg Inglis.
How did it feel to be honoured in such a way?
I guess it was a really honourable moment for myself, but, it was also one of the sad days, leading into it. My grandmother sadly passed away 3 days prior to that.
I guess that makes it even more one of those moments where you reflect on everything, right?
Yeah.
Like your career, but family and your life as well.
Yeah, it does. And, after Graham Ansley called me, I tried to hold my emotions in, and then once I hung up, I shed a few tears because, I thought about my grandmother.
Was she your biggest fan?
Yeah, biggest supporter. In the car with Mum and Dad all the time, so...
Beautiful. Well, Greg, we are your biggest fans, so congratulations on an astonishing career.
Thanks.
And now, life outside of that, you're still involved in rugby league, the NRLW stuff that you're doing. Tell me about that.
I guess it sort of came out of the mentoring role with the Queensland Rugby League first with the women's, and I guess it just transferred into what I'm doing now with Brett Camorley at the NRLW Tigers, and it gives me a good balance.
Did you ever think, you'd be involved with the women's game, and how does it differ, I guess, than the men's?
I guess I've been around rugby league in the women's sport for a very long time. I grew up around, seen my sister play it from juniors, been to Indigenous knockouts where, we see women play, see my aunties and other cousins and that play in the female space. So it's something that I'm still passionate about.
The great GI, part of Brett Camorley's coaching setup at the Tigers.
I saw the girls, they got you to do a go at a training recently.
Yeah, so...
You're reluctant.
Yeah, I was. And I wasn't sure if I still got it or if I'll just lay there and not be able to get back up. I guess it's like initiation to the new guys in the club, and that stuff included. And we either got to do dance, song, or tell a joke.
The Goanna Academy, obviously a big part of your life now. First of all, for people who don't know what the Goanna Academy does, what is the aim? Yeah,
so the aim is reduce suicide in Australia itself, especially in our youth. It is a lot of travel. It is a lot of hard-hitting conversations, but that's what the Goanna Academy is about. We travel around Australia, deliver programs, do on-country programs, talk to businesses, and just really get them to understand what mental health and really get them to understanding that there is services out there and that there is help.
How important was it for you to find that purpose post-rugby league?
Yeah, well, you can't just walk away from something you've done for so long, and that's where I fell in the trap. Today is obviously the official retirement of myself, and like I said, what a career I've had. There's no regrets, but most important thing that my career off the field is just starting now, and I'll get to look forward to that. Thought that I could just retire and walk away from the game itself. And, you know, that's when my own struggles came through and been to rehab and really understood what was going on upstairs.
I was going to say, you've been very open about your bipolar 2 diagnosis, your battles with anxiety, depression. How much have you learnt to deal with that and kind of go on your own journey throughout this?
I guess it's going back into simplifying my life, simplifying the things that really matter and prioritising myself first.
You didn't handle it in a good way at times through your life, right? There's been times where you pushed it down, especially through your football career.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to, guess, spread the message about. Is not suppress it, acknowledge it, but also reach out to people.
For yourself, how bad did it get in those times where you turn to alcohol, you turn to recreational drugs?
Yeah,
right?
well, do you feel like some days you can't put on your pants? You feel like some days you can't, you know, get up out of bed or get up, no motivation? That's part of me, and that became pretty much my norm, and I couldn't do that for a few weeks even. And that's when it turned to that alcohol. That's when it turned to prescription drugs. That's when it turned to, you know, not being open and honest about what was going on with me. It's like, yep, I'm fine. No need to worry. I'll just keep pushing on. And then that's when it really got really bad, where I had to go in to rehab because, you know, about 7 years ago, I wouldn't be sitting here and spreading the word around mental health.
The NRL's getting involved. I think round 22, players are going to be wearing the Stick With It campaign. Tell us about that.
I guess it's a nationwide campaign that we launched, and, you know, we do have a lot of players that's going to be wearing a tape where you can write a message. We see players in that do it now, write a name or, you know, something that means a lot to them. But it's also, you know, something that they might be going through. They can write a message down on their wrist. They can, somebody that they lost or somebody that they know that they're going through, that's going through something. And it's just bringing awareness around that.
I want to go backwards a little bit to a young Greg Inglis. What was life like for him growing up?
Oh, I guess I was just like any other kid. Always out kicking the ball, running around, catching up with friends, going down the riverbank fishing, and, you know, when the street light comes on, we had to be home.
When did you first move away from home?
I signed with Melbourne early age, and then I decided to move to Newcastle at the age of 16. Was everything that I dreamed of, but I just was around the wrong crowd. Newcastle didn't want to sign me, so started getting a little bit of trouble, and then ended up deciding to move back home for the last term 4. And at the age of 16, Melbourne asked me to go down to do 2-week pre-season training with them, and I think I only lasted 5 days.
I think you said that the first thing Craig Bellamy ever said to you was, get out of my face and get fitter or something like that.
Yeah, it was somewhere along those lines. I won't repeat what he actually said. You can take it both ways. You can take it one way or the other, where it's like, nah, this ain't for me, or you can just cop it on the chin, because that little 5 days, that 2 weeks that I had down there gave me the drive and motivation to actually want to do it. You know, to their credit, they ended up moving me up to Brisbane to live with the Coolwell family. He was a police officer up there, and he took me into Roma Street station to have a look around where my life could end up. Probably the first time in my life where I was brought to tears, because I knew that's where I could end up if I didn't change my life. So right there and then, I made it a goal of mine to apply myself to school, put my attendance up, train hard, and at the age of 17, Melbourne asked me to go back down.
Goes at the line, comes out the other side. Greg Inglis away from Roberts. Can he do it all on his own? Away from Cullen. Here comes Silvac again. Can he make it 2 in a row? No! Inglis has done it. Oh, what a talent, what a player.
So you're playing for Wavell then, and then into North Devils in early years. When did you first come across Cooper Cronk and those guys in that system?
Well, I met them in Melbourne when I was down there, and I idolised these blokes. They helped guide me and help shape, I guess, the professionalism that they taught me.
I think I remember seeing a young Greg Inglis down playing at Burleigh Bears at Pissy Park. You had the frosted blonde tips.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
But yeah, I remember seeing you score some amazing tries.
Greg Inglis, danger man. And a try to lead up the right. Play on, play on. Play on, he's heading for the corner. Try to Inglis.
You're just skinny thing? Like, do you remember those days, or was it too far back?
I remember the blonde tips because people laugh at me when they bring up old photos and that. Look, I don't know what was going on. Guess I was just trying to find my way. Really enjoyed my time playing for North. Really enjoyed, that whole, this is what you have to do to play NRL, is do your time, do your duties, and then, when the opportunity comes, it comes.
The home side has just the one change. Jake Webster is out, and one of the hottest young properties in the game makes his debut. Greg Inglis comes in on the wing.
You sit on the bench a couple of times as 18th, 19th man. You were 17 at this point, right? Like, and then you're 18 by the time you debut. But what was that like? So daunting to be so young and in that environment.
It's like a deer in headlights, really. You just happy to be there, smiling. I was like, oh, wow, even though I haven't, even put the boots on or, to run out, you're still sitting in the sheds with the guys that, that's been there, that's done it. And I really sat back and really looked how they approach a game, how they prepare for a game. And I guess that's what I took on board the most.
Vegemite toast was your thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, right before, on the bus on the way to the game, or even the car ride if we drive, Vegemite and toast. Yeah, it was just something that I stuck to and worked for me, and it probably doesn't for all. And I'd strongly advise find what works for you.
Didn't you sleep on buses all the time too?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I'll find a spot in a dressing shed and close my eyes for a little bit.
The first touch in the top grade for the number 19, Greg Inglis, the hottest property in rugby league.
Your debut, what's some memories from that?
My dad and my pop and my younger brother flying down. I remember scoring a try, but I think Smitty just felt a bit bad for me, so he passed the ball where he could have scored himself.
Pops it to Cameron Smith. This is try time on debut. Greg Inglis will collect the 4 points. Oh, he'll remember tonight for quite some time.
I know you said that Smithy felt sorry for you and passed you that ball in your debut, but you had an all right strike rate after that. I think you scored 25 tries in your first 32 games.
Gronk, he goes out to the outside.
Here comes Inglis. Good face ball to Hoffman, gets it on to Greg Inglis. And just like that,
he's over under the black dot. He'll get himself a double. Inglis will get a hat-trick.
Here is Inglis, and it's all over. Took the intercept, and he runs away and scores for Melbourne.
Crowe, he goes to the air. Here comes Inglis.
Oh, what a player this kid is.
You played wing, centre, fullback. What was that like to kind of just shift in and out of positions so young?
You just got to do. You just got to do what's best for the team.
Here's Cooper Cronk, Slater, quick hands, and there goes Greg Inglis. What a play from the Melbourne Storm. What about the hands from Billy Slater and the blinding acceleration from Greg Inglis?
Started on the wing, went in the centres, played 5'8". I remember one game there where I think Hoffy was off with HIA and I had to play back row for 15 minutes and ended up shifting in there into lockers for, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe less. But I did not want to be in the middle, so I was like, get me back out there.
People always thought, oh, well, gee, I end up a back rower at the end of his career.
I just made sure I kept my weight down, kept my speed up, so I don't have to be in there.
Here comes Greg Inglis. This is why they reckon he is destined for big things. Greg Inglis gets us underway in Ericsson thanks to a scintillating solo effort.
2006, you make a grand final, you get beat. How did you take that?
The elder boys just came back and just said, look, we missed it, but we know what we need to do. We're just going to keep fighting and get back here the following year. And, that was everything to us. And that's all we did. We just held each other accountable, just kept turning up and made everyone better each and every day.
Inglis will chip it over the top. He wants a bounce. He gets a bounce. A lovely piece of play. That's the Greg Inglis we know and love.
You shifted to 5'8" in 2007.
Yeah.
At the time, did it feel natural at the start, or was it was a bit of a teething process, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was that pre-season. Craig came up and said, "Oh, let's try him at 6." I was just a kid, and I said, "Yep, well, why not?"
Here come the Storm.
To get back there in 2007 and win, and you scored a double.
Cameron Smith, Cooper Cronk, Cameron Smith, and then Greg Inglis.
Inglis is over!
Well, what's going through your mind in, I think, the iconic try where you kind of skirted down the sideline?
Here they are making another break and they get the ball away to Inglis. Inglis is inside the 30, swerves away from Robertson, runs away from Robertson, puts the ball down.
You know, the game's over and you're going to win a grand final. Talk me through those moments and how that felt.
Oh, look, it was just a relief, to be honest. All that hurt, 12 months prior. We had this belief that nothing was going to, no one was going to beat us. That grand final, what was going through my head was, we finally done it.
The prestigious Clyde Churchill medal winner. What a superstar of the game, ladies and gentlemen, Greg Inglis.
When you heard your name read out as a Clive Churchill medalist, how did that feel?
It's very cringe going back and listening to the speech.
What did you say? I can't remember.
I can't remember, but I don't like hearing myself. But I was blown away by it. I want to go out there and do the best I can each and every week, and just happen to be on the biggest stage.
You guys got your revenge in 2007 from losing in 2006. Manly got their revenge in 2008.
Yeah, they got it pretty big.
Yeah, they got it pretty big.
This time it goes to Menzies. Robertson for the corner. Back to Steve Menzies. Oh, who wrote the script?
40-0. Do you remember what went wrong?
You can have the best preparation. You can have the worst preparation. On that night, it just wasn't our night. And Manly was a better team.
09, you come back, a very different looking Greg Inglis.
Tremaine gets the ball in for Inglis. Soward's after him. There's the big Inglis fend. In goes G.I.
A bit bigger. What happened in that off-season?
I think Alex Crowe got me in the gym, understanding the right nutrition to take.
So you debuted, what you said, around 80 kilos. How heavy were you at the start of 09?
I think I was about just hit over 102.
Chance Melbourne early. Hoffman. Oh, here is the big fellow Inglis surging into the back line.
It was very noticeable.
Well, I know who noticed it. It was Jamie Soward.
Here's Inglis, one of the superstars of the game. He bumps him away, dives at the line. I think it's a try.
Round one.
Yeah,
he shot out of the line.
Yeah. Yeah, I see him every now and then. He still has a bit of a giggle about it.
Makes a beeline for Jamie Soward. Bang! Get out of my way.
So that year, to get into the grand final against a Parramatta side that was on an incredible run, what was the feeling like coming into that, knowing how hot they were?
We had to be at our very best.
When Cronk puts the kick up into the air, they defuse the bombs well in the first half, but they don't contest it. And Greg Inglis, you can't kick him out of the game forever.
And then Parramatta started getting their roll on.
Brace yourself, move on, follow the corner, and Philly, has scored for Parramatta.
I don't know, we just had this belief that, we just got to keep playing our footy, and we didn't stop playing our footy.
So when you kicked the field goal, right? Like, after that, is that when you felt like, yes, we're here, we're home?
Yeah, but still, in a grand final, you never know what's going to happen.
10 metres out. Inglis started the season with a field goal to win in round one, and he kicks a field goal that wins the grand final for the Melbourne Storm.
2009, 2007, that's this wonderful period, right? You've won all these comps, you've been to a number of straight grand finals. Then 2010, it all comes crashing down.
Emerging from the darkest period of their short history, the ravaged Storm put on a united front.
I love this club. I love these players. These players love our club. This club is a great club. It's a strong club. It's a very proud club.
When was your first inclination of hearing about the salary cap?
The phone kept going off, and it was like, well, what's happening? What's happening? And then looked at it, and it was like, this is big news. Before I knew it, Craig, the whole staff, the whole playing group came in, sat us down in the meeting room and told us what was happening. And we was in disbelief.
The penalties are a result of salary cap breaches amounting to $1.7 million over the past 5 years and $700,000 in 2010. Storm officials confessed after the NRL auditors made a stunning discovery.
The elaborate lengths that they went to hide the payments was quite extraordinary. The breakthrough in the investigation was the discovery by the salary cap auditor and his team of a file in a separate room at the Storm to the room that contained the file with the players' contracts.
In the weeks after that, when names get brought up and there's articles and there's countless things talking about boats and cars and payments and all that stuff, and your name gets dragged into it. How did that make you feel?
Oh, we just stuck together. You can talk to any player back then, any player now. You don't sit in the locker room and talk about contracts or what this person's on in any sporting organisations. Yes, it was hard for the first 6 weeks. You know, going out there and trying to play, trying to train. But we made a pact that, you know what, if we go out there, well, then we can disrupt other teams from making the finals or, you know, getting ahead. And that's what we did. We just went back to the Melbourne Storm way, and that's playing footy.
Celebrating those premierships now, that's something the team still does. Why is that important to you?
Because it's, you know, part of our legacy. We knew how hard the road was to get there, and behind closed doors, we just knew what, you know, like I just said, what we did, the hard work that we did to get those premierships, and that's why we still celebrate it.
Inglis, Slater's on the inside. Here's Inglis for the corner. He started it, he finishes it, and that is the exclamation point on the career of Greg Inglis at the Melbourne Storm. He finishes a try-scoring hero.
When did you feel like your time at Melbourne was coming to an end?
At that time, I didn't really think that I was going to be the one that's going to put my hand up and leave. It was after we played in Adelaide and we played against Bulldogs, and I went up to Frank Panisi after it and I said, look, I think it's best for me to find another club to go to. Can you go and tell Craig? And Frank looked at me, he had this look on his face, he goes, I'm not having that conversation with him, so...
Were you scared to have that conversation?
Yeah, absolutely I was, yeah, and, you know, still a hard conversation even to mention it with him. But we signed Bill, Cam, Cooper, and I was the last one to sign, so I felt like, I guess at that time, I felt like it was me that should go because I was the last one to sign out of that group.
It's Greg Inglis there. A tough time for him. He has to leave this club that he loves so much.
After nearly 200 days searching for a new club, it's finally official.
I'd like to welcome the newest Rabbitohs member, Greg Inglis.
You come to South.
Yep.
Russell calls you, but you didn't believe it's Russell, right?
No, I hung up on him twice. Anthony Mundine rings me up and said, Russell's going to ring you. He wants you to come down here. He wants you to have a look around. Choc always plays pranks with me. And I said, yeah, well, whatever. A private number rings. I just said, oh, no, that's not him. I hung up. He rings back again. I said, can you stop calling me? And hung up again. Third time he rang, I let it go to voicemail, and then Choc texts me and he goes, you need to answer, bro. You just need to answer, it's Russell. And I was like, right. So I took the call. He ended up flying me down the next day. He wasn't, you know, rolling out the red carpet or anything. He was just being Russell. Passionate about his club, passionate about what he wants to do in community, you know, just passionate about what he wants to build here. And that's what got me here.
You signed a big guy. Tell me about that. I think people in America know.
In order to put it in perspective for you guys, it's like we just got LeBron James.
Okay.
It's gigantic. Okay. In the rugby league world, it's just gigantic, you know. Right. So, yeah, it's a big push for us. And it came as a bit of a
And what's
surprise.
his name? Who's the player?
Fellow's name is Greg Inglis.
You said he didn't roll out the red carpet, but I imagine there's been times over your life and kind of relationship with Russell that you've been in some places and thought, how the hell am I here meeting some of these people or being around celebrities?
I didn't want to meet Russell, to be honest.
Right.
Simply because Gladiator is my favourite movie of all time.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The old saying is you never want to meet your heroes because they can turn out to be, you know, idiots or something that they're not like. But Gladiator is still my favourite movie of all time, and he didn't disappoint at all.
Russie. He loves it towards the Roman court. Down with the Roosters.
You said you came here and you weren't up to scratch for your own standards.
No.
Why was that?
You know, wasn't training in the off-season, wasn't keeping myself in shape. I was just, I guess, going through the motions of it all. It took a while to get back into shape, and I think even before round one, I was still not up to my best and not by my standards, and, you know, certainly didn't do our club any favours and our team any favours, so came in early, started doing the work, and yeah, just really had to knuckle down because I love rugby league and I wanted to make South believing that they signed the right person to do the job.
Here's the kick from Sando, though, and out there and above them, Greg Inglis. Greg Inglis has scored.
So Madge comes in 2012, and it's his idea to shift you to fullback.
I think it was around 3 at Penrith where he decided to shift me. And I remember it was like, Madge, I haven't, played fullback in a long time. I've been playing centre, my body shapes as a centre. And he goes, don't worry, kid, you'll be all right.
Sutton goes short to a second man. Dummy from Inglis. The big bloke's heading for the corner. Triangles over the top of them. Oh, there's carnage behind him as he scores a try.
Madge can obviously see potential and knew me from, Melbourne days. And I just said, yep, whatever you need me to do.
He was kind of around then when you switched to 5'8", right? And him and Craig kind of came up with that plan. So Madge is obviously, he's pushed you along the way and seen things in you that maybe you didn't see in yourself.
Gives it to Inglis, fends away from Carney, gets away from Pomeroy. Now Inglis finds Pettybourne, and he gives it to Inglis on the wraparound. Reynolds will kick. Inglis is the target. He's out there. He came down with it. It's a hat-trick. 3 for Inglis.
Madge nearly killed me. I remember when he first came and I was up in Brizzy and when he first signed, he goes, I want to make a statement. I want to make sure that we're doing the hard work. We want to turn this club culture around. And I was on holidays in Brizzy and he rings me up. He goes, can you come down to do army camp just before Christmas break? And I said, mate, I don't want to, but I will. That was my first day back and we was on sand dunes at Wanda and almost died that day. It was, body was just exhausted, gave out, but right there and then I think the boys knew what Madge was all about. You're there to do your best for your team, for your state. Opportunities are there and you got to make the most of opportunity. It was like I was in this zone and everything just slowed down.
2014, did it have a sense of destiny?
We just had this determination, this self-belief.
Burgess and taken by Graham. Something's happened with Sam Burgess.
Looked at him and I said, I know you can do it, be you, just be Sam Burgess.
Inglis! Inglis to celebrate it!
You just had that sense of feeling, you can hear the crowd roar. I just wanted to hold it and just share that moment and decide, can't take this one away.